Alright. I wanted to make this video for a long time, but I didn't really know what I wanted to say until I think just basically now I had a little bit of an epiphany on what I want this video to be. I've always been interested in making content, but I don't really like vlog style content. I don't really like it because I think like why would people listen to me? They want to listen to stuff about games or whatever. But I thought maybe it's a unique experience that is probably worth sharing to some people. I don't really know. I'll talk about it anyway. And if nobody watches it, nothing much changes, right? I've been in Japan since December now, and I've been going to arcades basically every weekday, between 3 to 5 days a week, depending on my schedule, sometimes how I feel, how many free plays there are. Basically, like I go to every free play that I can. Free play is basically you pay like uh, an upfront fee, and then you can just play for free. You don't need to put coins into the machine to keep playing. The only free play I can't go is the third Saturday one on in Big One. So that's because I got work that day. And for me, it was either going to work on Sundays, which means I would skip out on going to the temple and the beginner tournament in Ikebukuro, or going to work on Saturdays and missing on the Ranbat for Tachikawa, I guess, which was like relatively new, and the third Saturday. Oh, I guess if I didn't go on the Sunday, I'd miss out on the Kobayashi A rank tournament as well. So I thought I can go to work on Saturdays, not Sundays. But that's beside the point. I've learned so much when I've gone to arcades. I think I've had to work on a lot of things in my playstyle and tighten a lot of things up to make them better. It's really difficult, man. People are so good here. So the first time I first okay, there's a few things that rattled around my mind. The first thing is just the level of players, making me think like, what should I be doing? It changes a lot of how do I say this? In New Zealand, playing Vampire Savior. No, I guess I should have mentioned, right? Like, this is about Vampire Savior. So I came to Japan to get better at Vampire. I took a year off, basically my life, and did a side quest for all intents and purposes. Whether to call it a side quest or a main quest, whatever, that's something a therapist can help me with, probably. Not just ranting into a YouTube video. Where was I? Yeah. I remember. So there are a couple of things that constitute my play in Japan here, right? The first thing is the social aspect. Second would be the mechanical, like gameplay aspect, and the third is like the mental aspect of playing in game in tournaments and stuff. The first is the social one. I thought, sorry, before that, socially, I am very limited in that my Japanese is not very good, right? So when I want to speak to people at the arcade, I have to navigate the barriers of just being completely dogshit at communicating and talking and listening, to catch what people are saying, and be able to respond accordingly using the grammar and vocab that I know. It's very difficult for me, and I feel like it's difficult to make progress for me as well. I think my confidence has gotten a lot better, but my actual skill has been very stunted. I feel. I'm not sure. I feel like I still can't speak to people worth a damn. It's like I want to get him to understand what I'm saying, or her. I mean, it's like I think how many women have I seen at the events? Maybe, and there was that one recently, and then maybe five. Yeah, not that many. Overwhelmingly dudes, but I think that's like part of the parcel. There might be more in Japan than they have been in New Zealand, I'll say that much. But maybe like not in the circles that I was in, so I'm not sure. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk to the other person. I want to get their opinion on how I played. There's language barriers and then there's cultural barriers where I try to ask people like, hey, what did you think of the matches or something like that? And it's difficult to get advice really, really quickly. Sometimes. And I feel like my play is so weak that a lot of the times the advice is very similar, where it's just like, yeah, just keep practicing push block, keep practicing combos. And it's like, I've had, I've received, and I've self given the same advice, like every time I play for the last like fucking 4 or 5 years. So it's really frustrating to be in that position. Like I want to, like that's still the biggest weakness I've got. Like I still suck at that. It's really, really, really annoying, and I don't know how to like. Is this a lifelong process? I guess with Bishamon especially. With Sasquatch, dropping combos is not. You can't drop combos. It's just a chain. Yeah. Like defense is still really bad. My push block is not consistent. I don't really get it. I want to improve, but have. I don't got it like that. I don't got it like that. I just have to practice every day. And to be honest, that's not something I do. So I can't really be mad at the process when I'm not fully integrated in it. So that's kind of annoying. It's a bit more mechanical than social at the same time. And socially also like just talking to people more, it's difficult. Again with the language barrier and also like, the arcades are not the most like they're social and the people are nice. People it's not there that's not that. But people are there to play the game. They're not here to chat to a foreigner about whatever when he's like struggling and stammering through words. Fucking terrible. Um, so trying to get around that. I think it's gotten better with the people I have seen more. Like there's a meetup I go to every Friday, and then we go to drinking afterwards, and uh, like speaking to them very regularly. Like I've become warmer and more friendly or friendlier to them, and that has helped a lot in that regard. And I think like considering the average like foreigner trying to integrate into Japan experience, I think I've done pretty well for myself here. Already finding a community of people that I can go to an arcade and people will be like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, damn, that's tight. Sometimes people even know me already. Like in Nagoya, I went and one of the people already knew who I was. Or like they were like, oh, you're this guy. Oh, I've heard that you play at this arcade a lot, and I'm like, that's tight. How do you know that? So that was cool. So yeah, what was I trying to say? Yeah, so in that aspect, so socially, I think I've done pretty well, but I still have a ways to go. I think I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to get what the real like Japanese person experiences with stuff like that. But arcades wise, I think I'm doing pretty well socially. I've actually been way more social than I think I have ever been in New Zealand. So that's pretty cool. Mechanically, again, yeah, the having to keep working on the same things over and over, like my combo consistency is terrible, my push block consistency is terrible. The fact that they fluctuate is even worse and really annoying. And beyond that, trying to find ways to improve that aren't that is also really tricky. I mean, not that maybe I don't need to, maybe it is that I don't need to think about those things, but also, like, there's so many matchups that I want to keep working on, and some of them are really important. Some of them are required for me to get better, to play in the beginner tournament and try to win it, which is like one of my quantifiers, I guess, or qualifiers, like personally speaking. And yeah, like for me, I think my trip will be a success if I have won that tournament. That will like tell me that I've gotten better at the game. Sorry, where was I? I lost my thought. I'll get better if I win the beginner tournament. Yeah, but also like there's so many players that I get to play against, and their levels are different, their characters are different, their playstyles are different. And trying to learn how to play those different matchups is really difficult. There's so many like things I need to keep working on at the same time. If I played only one guy the entire time, that would be a lot easier, obviously. But yesterday, I played Manira-san, and Icarus. An Icarus matchup I'd never get to practice in Ace. He's not very common there. I mean, when Mizashima-san comes in, he probably, like, I can play against that character then, but he doesn't play that character that much against me. That's beside the point. Like, everybody plays their character well, and that's something I need to work on. Like, another example is I played Kuruvega on Monday for, like, 10, 15 games. I got one game, 2 games. So that was pretty good. But I couldn't, I was not consistent in any way. And that's not to take away anything from him. Like, he's very good. He's obviously better at the game than me. So there's no reason to feel like I should be better than him. But also, it's a point of frustration because it's like, I don't, like, the Zabel matchup is not a priority for me to work on. So in terms of, like, improving at it, I have no, like, plan of improvement, so to speak. So, like, I construct a game plan and then I try the game plan and I go, okay, is this good or not? And then I adjust accordingly. Like against Morrigan, I've been working on a new playstyle where I just like whiff heavy kicks to build meter and then eventually let her come in and see, like make her approach me because if she doesn't do that, I will just sit there and build meter the entire time. And I want to try that strategy, but I think against Zebel that strategy is like very much not gonna work because he wants to keep getting in towards me, and it's a matter of me sniping his approach rather than like, oh, I'm gonna sit there and build meter, and Zebel has to approach me. He's going to do that anyway. It's just a matter of properly calling out that approach and then getting the damage out of that. That's the tricky part. And I just can't, you know. And then when I came in on Monday, my priority was okay. Like, oh, I see Butchie-san is there. I can play the Morgan matchup. I can try some stuff out there. So I won some games. I lost a whole more, but I won some games. And but then I want to keep playing the game, like generally just get like more experience. But so I'm not like mad at, oh, why did I play Zabel? That's not something I wanted to do. But there's so many things going on in my brain where, like, which character is a priority to improve at? You know, I can only do things like one or two things at a time. I can't work on all the matchups and all the tech and all the strategy at the same time. Like, Dusty plays Felicia. Dusty's another guy that I played online. He plays Felicia. I can't do the unblockable against Felicia anymore for some reason. I just don't know the timing, or not the timing, the spacing anymore. So that's something I want to work on. So okay, I want to work on like what's on my to-do list. It's like, okay, unblockables against Felicia, unblockables, no unblockables. Um, gameplay against game strategy against Morrigan, some stuff, and then like general fundamental skills practice. There's so many things to be doing and working on at the same time that it's difficult to balance all of them, and that leads to the mental part as well, where I feel like if like I'll be working on something and that's something I don't get to practice, I have to practice something else. It shows me like a weakness that I've got in my play. It's really frustrating and it's really like discouraging for me. Not discouraging, it's just frustrating, like very very gakkari suru about that. I'm very like fuck, like I play. I was like, why am I here? Why am I playing these games? Why am I going to these arcades? Why am I spending like almost 2,000 yen? 2,000 yen? Yeah, 2,000 yen probably. Like a little bit less than that, maybe. To 1,600 yen-ish, maybe. To go to this arcade after work and like fucking wasting my time. Like getting my shit pushed in on a daily basis, basically, at this point. It's really annoying. And like, it's not, nothing. The improvement process, and eventually, the more I keep practicing, the more I cognizantly play and think, I'll get better. That's not, I'm not doubting that, intellectually speaking, but in the heat of the moment, it's really frustrating. Especially because, like I'm not living in Japan forever. Eventually, I do have to go back. So I feel like, I'm putting a timer on myself when I think about that. It's so frustrating. I don't know what to do. There's so many things I've talked about in this. I'm not sure if I'll make anything like this again, but if you watch, thanks for listening, I guess. I'm not, it's not a rant per se. Like I'm not ranting. I mean, I am ranting in that it's completely unstructured and it's a stream of, maybe it's better to say it's a stream of consciousness more than it's a rant. But just wanted to share my experience working and not working. Oh, I am working. Experience in Japan, learning vampire. People are really good and people are really nice. Like, nobody's like talking shit. I mean, like, people don't talk shit in front of you, I guess. Maybe people talk shit behind me. I got no idea. I don't really want to know. But yeah, I don't know. I guess just keep working on stuff that I'm working on. Anyway, we'll call it here. Wasted too much time. Goodbye now.